You're back at school. Um, it is such a unique thing that you're trying to do. Tell us about the experience. Tell us why you've decided. I mean, you're a two-time NBA champion. You just played for the LA Lakers and won a championship. You played with LeBron. I mean, you've played in the league for, forever. And now in your mid 30s, you decide to go back to college. I mean, what
Yeah.
was why?
For me, the main thing was continuously to push myself, to educate myself, to try to be better as a person. I've done, won championships and played at the highest level on so many, in sports. And for me, the biggest challenge was always my academics. Even growing up, I never really liked school. I never gravitated towards school. I was just always wanted to do sports and things like that. After talking to Ray Allen, after the he was telling me after we're on this roller coaster for so long, going ups and downs with all these drains, emotions, and challenges and stuff like that. Once the game is over, you lose that edge. Well, you don't lose that edge, but it's harder to repeat, and it's harder to channel that energy where you so used to doing everything physical to trying to turn on your mind a little more. And he really challenged me with trying to go back to school and finish, well, not go back to school, to go to school, because I never went. And just challenge myself as far as my mental aspect can goes, as far as my endurance of how I can use my brain and work and try to do so many more things than just play basketball or sport.
And I think the interesting thing, JR, is that you came out of high school and went straight to the NBA. I mean, which is something that not a lot of people have done. And so you didn't. It wasn't like you had a year of college and then decided to turn pro and you were going to go back. I think the unique thing is that, like you said, school wasn't a big part of your life, and in your 30s to go back to it, and it must have been a tough decision to make. But did you see it as also a way to kind of show other people and empower other people to try and take school seriously that maybe don't when they're younger?
Yeah, I think that's the thing I've been really harnessing on the most, is trying to get people to really focus on that academic side earlier on, because there's so many things. Like for me, fortunately, I didn't have to go to college and stuff like that, so I never really learned how to write emails and certain MLA formats and stuff like that. So it was like it's a whole culture shock to me. So when I actually I met tons of billionaires and stuff like that. So it's like to actually have that the tutelage of to reach out to those guys in a more professional manner, opposed to just send them in a text or a call. And they see that email, and it's like it gives you a different status when people take you more serious. And for me, that's my biggest thing through my career, and throughout the last couple 16 years, I feel like I haven't really been taken serious as a person, not even just as a player. So this is something for me to challenge myself to be more hands on.
I just took my daughter back to, she's starting her second year of college. Her dorm room doesn't look like the backdrop of what you're in. Are you in a dorm? Are you in an apartment? Are you in a house?
I'm in a house right now. I'm in an Airbnb. I was in a hotel for 2 months and trying to look for a place, and it was just like being in a dorm. So it was kind of cool because I wanted that experience a little bit. Obviously, the hotels is a little different than the dorm room, but it still gives you that quiet room and that tight space, so where you can really try to think outside the box and on top of just being around campus.
Your Twitter feed at the real J.R. Smith has been amazing. You talking about going to class, going to tutoring. What has been the hardest part, J.R.? I mean, basically, you're starting. It'd be like me trying to play basketball. I have no basketball background. You're trying to go to school, and you said you didn't have it. So, what's been the hardest part for you, and what have you liked about it?
I think for me the hardest part is like not getting discouraged and saying, "The hell with this! I got plenty of money." I think that's the hardest part, because it's like, after you hit a bump of the road, taking tests and quizzes and homework, and sometimes you can get behind the eight ball if you don't stack your schedule the right way. And for me, it's like one day I actually got behind the eight ball like a week or two ago, and it was just like, why the hell am I putting myself through this? Like I have to, like now I have to submit stuff. I got to do this and I got to do that, and it's just like I needed that extra gear in my head to be like, you know what? No, this is what you signed up for. This is what you're gonna stick it through. You're gonna do the best you can. So for me to see the younger generation, to hear the guys on my team talk about, I inspire them to try harder in a classroom as well on the golf course and take things a little more serious. It's inspirational for me because I never heard it before. I never heard anybody talk to me or talk about me in that manner. It was always in a party or some NBA play or a dunk or something like that. So when people tell me I inspire them to go back to school and try to help them help themselves, it's one of the best feelings you can feel.
The new podcast is out now. Listen, subscribe, review. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts.